Hi, you crafty chicks! Are y'all excited for this holiday catalog launch? Isn't this just a beautiful cover? Completely represents Christmas for us stampers, sending out our cards. And our list is so long here at Pretty Crafty Chicks. We love all the accessories, we love the bundles. We've got Christmas, New Year's, fall, Halloween. It is just beautiful. And if you haven't checked it out, go over to our website and just start digging through and making your own lists. But today we are doing a card, a project that is very near and dear to our hearts with this bundle called Painted Harvest. It comes with a punch and it cuts out, or punches out these leaves, and this is just a beautiful watercolor kind of technique stamp set. Just beautiful ideas that come with it as well. I definitely suggest also going to Pinterest and looking at some of these ideas. But today this project is a very near and dear to our heart project, as I was saying. If you have been watching the news, you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially now that you're seeing the cards. We really just wanted to send some love down to all the stampers and everyone that's on the Texas coast right now that is hurting. And just, for a project for you stampers that are too far away to get in on the cleanup process down here, now you've got a little card that you can send to a fellow Texan you may know that's been affected by Hurricane Harvey. And if you are like me, there are very many on that list. So let me give you the supplies that you will need for this project. You now are probably wondering, all right, we don't carry any Texas images in the catalogs. Very true, but since this is a special design, we have a stencil that we personally own, and I think this was a little bit of a custom order, but I will put a link in the description below the video on where to get this. I know in this person's shop they have a similar stencil right now, still there. It's at creativestencildesigns.com. And the paper also, you don't want to use just regular printing copy paper, because when you start stamping, the ink's just going to bleed through and then ruin your nice clean image in the back. So get some thicker cardstock, which we've got Whisper White thick cardstock that would be perfect if you want to use it for that. And all I did, I just put the stencil on there and traced it with a pencil and then cut it out. So that's what I did for the Texas image. The sentiments that I used in the middle of the Texas is from You've Got This. Beautiful stamp set, has a flower that you can color in with some sentiment and a beautiful background. I love all the projects that come out for this set. For the inside of this one, I used out of Rose Wonder. They had almost the entire verse of Isaiah 41:10, which I loved putting it in this card. And there are many sentiments. Like this one right here came out of Thoughts and Prayers, which is in the regular catalog as well. Both these sets are in the regular catalog. To name off a couple of other ones that are wonderful, Ribbon of Courage is a beautiful stamp set that has just pretty certain with faith, all things are possible. That was a perfect one to sit in the middle of the Texas state. Flourishing Phrases has some. High Tide had a couple Artistically Asian had some beautiful ones that could go in the inside of the card. Beautiful sentiments that would work perfectly. And for the colors, I used the Tuxedo Black from Memento. That did the insides. All the sentiments are done in this color. Daffodil Delight I did for the base of the sunflower, that lighter piece that you see. Crushed Curry I did for the darker technique. And then Chocolate Chip I did for the center of the sunflower. And for the little touch of ribbon, I used our linen thread. I use this so much. Probably used it a little too much. I don't explore too much with the ribbons because I love this one. And then you probably can't really tell, but this adds a beautiful touch to this card, which is our gold metallic thread. And then, of course, if you have experienced photopolymer, you know the technique you need to use for this to get that perfect clear image. You want the foam pad that we sell in the back of the catalog. And of course, trim down just regular paper to fit on top of it so you can stamp around and stamp off without having to ruin your foam piece. And now for cardstock, I used Crumb Cake, which is 8.5 by 5.5, regular card size. And then you're going to want to trim out 2 out of Whisper White, the 4 1/4 and 5 1/4. This will be your insert and your top piece. So now I believe that is all the supplies that you need, other than regular adhesive and some glue dots. So let me give you the instructions now. Alright, so I'm going to start with the front page of the card, the Whisper White and Daffodil Delight on the base of the sunflower. And what I'm going to do, now we don't sell this at Stampin' Up, but this is removable adhesive. You can get it at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, pretty much any craft store should have removable adhesive. You're definitely going to want this so it doesn't move around. Just put some, wait, that will go on backwards. You want to put it on the back of Texas. Make sure you have it the right way. And then you're going to stick it here in the center. And this is what we're here for. Make sure y'all don't make mistakes so you can make a perfect card. And the thing that I love about this, because when you're finished, this is what it's kind of going to look like. And can't you just use that for something else? I love saving little scrap pieces like this and creating something different with it. And maybe I'll show you what I make with it later. But now that that's kind of in the center, I'm going to move it a little bit more. Let's go right there. I love removable adhesive since it's so forgiving. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to ink this up and really make sure you don't get on the edges, kind of like what I did right there, because with this, you're really going to want to mash as hard as you can to get up close to that stencil. And if you push down too hard on that ink pad and it inks the edges, it's going to get in your other spots. But yeah, see how I'm really making sure I get up close. And really, the closer you are with the sunflowers, like, layer it on. Don't leave like little open spaces. Yep. really just makes this card pop out. The more sunflowers that are on here, the better. As I was saying before, this is not my first sunflower project in the past month. I have definitely gone sunflower crazy. I've made a lot of art pieces that hopefully I'll get to show you pretty soon. And they'll be for sale in our Etsy shop. And if you can't hear it, of course, the wind is blowing here. It kind of feels like fall right now. So hopefully that's not making too much of a racket. This is right next to a window. I've kind of gone on a little sunflower journey this past month of just kind of discovering how sunflowers just make a beautiful imagery of Christians and what it's like to follow Christ. Because sunflowers, you know, they follow the sun all day long. Just not for part of the day, but all day they follow the sun. Which is exactly what, you know, us Christians need to do. We need to be always having our face towards the Son of God. Because sunflowers take their nourishment from the sun. And that is exactly what we Christians need to do all day long. See, I probably should have gotten closer right there. Something on my stamp. I didn't know what it was. Okay. If you can see this, that little dot right there. Something had gotten on there. But it'll work. Okay. So that is the first layer. Alright, just to give you an idea of which stamps I'm using. Right now, what I'm about to use is this one. This is going to be the special technique that gives the sunflower its dimensions and all of the beautiful petal layers. So I'm going to do this one in Crushed Curry. It's a darker color. And the best thing that I love about this stamp set is that there isn't a right or wrong way to layer these stamps. See, isn't that just pretty? If you go on Pinterest, there are some stampers have done different color schemes, and I'll tell you like what colors are the best combinations to make sunflowers, because there are different colors of sunflowers out there. There's orange, there's yellow, and see, that's the other thing that was so interesting about sunflowers is, I mean, we call them sunflowers because they resemble the sun. And isn't that how we Christians need to be? We need to resemble Christ. I mean, we're called Christians because we follow Christ. We need that, be that perfect example. And granted, just because we're human, it means that we're not going to always be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. Like I said, really make sure you press down around that stencil so you can get the ink to soak up right next to it. And something else about like that resemblism of sunflowers. I mean, we are created in God's image already. Just like sunflowers have that image of the sun built into them. Our personalities resemble God. Our actions sometimes resembles God. It's just amazing, all the little details he puts in his creation to show us he is here and he is a part of us. Another interesting thing about sunflowers too is they produce seeds. Like I was saying, they get their nourishment from the sun and they produce seeds from that nourishment. And as Christians, we should be building on the seeds of the fruits of the Spirit and just casting them to nourish others. Almost there. There we go. The center I do in chocolate chip. Something with chocolate chip though is that the center of the sunflower is a little bit, it puts a lighter touch of ink. So if the center is right on the edge of that stencil, you really want to make sure it gets covered. See how it's pulled back a little too far. And this is another one you want to make sure that you don't rock the stamp when you're trying to ink it up. Because you are really pressing down hard against that stencil. These sunflowers have definitely just convicted myself to be more focused on the Son of God and to be that image, be that light. To not just, focus on God in the morning and the evening, but throughout the entire day, making Him a part of my life is so important, and I see such a change when I do that. But all day long, I need to be rooted in God's Word. Because just like sunflowers, they are so big, their roots have to go deep into the ground to make sure that they don't fall over or bend or get rooted out in a way. They've got to be strong. Have a very strong root system in order to withstand the winds and the rain, which has just convicted me that when rains and winds hit us, our life storms happen, I've got to be rooted in the Word so I don't fall down and stumble and get rooted out. Alright, there we go. So now I'll just take this off. See, with this, I did find out the hard way, don't rub your thumb or finger through the chocolate chip, because just like that, it smears. It's the only, very particular thing about this card. You've got to make sure your finger stays away from the chocolate chip. It's just, I guess, so dark. Or just wait. Maybe for the ink to dry, it might not be so bad. But even then, I'd be a little bit leery to rub it. And that's just the beauty of the removable adhesive. Because can you imagine trying to do that without removable adhesive? Or some way to keep it stuck down? So, removable adhesive is the best thing. Alright, so there you go. There is the top of our card. Now I'll go on and show you our sentiment and our inside. Alright, so we're getting to the last part here. Now I don't have the foam mat because I'm going to use You've Got This, which is a clear stamp. And if you did it in the foam and you got ink on the edges here and you press down, it's gonna just completely ruin what you did. So you really don't want to use the foam mat when you're using just clear stamps. You want to do it just with photopolymer. So here, ink that up in the Memento Tuxedo Black, and just go shoot for the center. There we go. Now in the center and the insert piece, I did the tuxedo black and the sentiment, and then I just followed the same thing that I did with these flowers, using chocolate chip, daffodil delight, crushed curry, and layering it the same. So now we are ready. Put this up first. Y'all are probably wondering, I changed my shirt. Yes, I did. Let's just say Satan is alive and well. Definitely is keeping me from making this video. So I had to film the last part of this on a different day. That's why. Alright. Going for the center. And now I'm using the metallic gold thread and the linen thread. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them side by side. And instead of just trimming off a piece, I go ahead and make my bow here on the end. Feel like it makes prettier bows, as well as I don't waste so much string. Got that. And how I'll stick it on with a glue dot. Actually, I have one sitting right here already with a glue dot. So I'll just use this one. And I mean, you can put it anywhere. You can put it up here in the panhandle, put it down low, maybe even go off to the side on the other side of Texas. But I really just love it right here. Just kind of frames Texas. So there we go. We're finished. And if you if you're not very crafty, you're not a big stamper, I will have some of these up in our Etsy shop, so you can go over there and just order them from us. Definitely, I think half the proceeds are gonna go to victims of Harvey. So if you want to do that, you are most welcome to. But for the rest of y'all, I hope you enjoyed the instructions. Very simple card. I hope you think so as well. We've got everything, all the supplies that you would need in our Stamping Up shop. So I hope y'all enjoyed. God bless your week. Bye.